Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the KotLC Fanbase channel. My name is Joey and today we are going to be going over some of you guys' reactions to the new Keeper of the Lost Cities movie. Are you guys really excited for it? Do you have some concerns or maybe some doubts about how the movie is going to come out at the end? About an hour ago I put out a community post asking how you guys feel about the movie, like your opinions. Are you excited for it or are you not? And it's only been an hour. There's already like so many responses, so if I don't get to it in this video, I'm so sorry because it's only been an hour and there's already like 20 responses and each one is like 5 sentences long. So I tried to get through as many as I could. So yeah, before we get into all these comments, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to Keeper Lost Cities YouTube channel. Check out all the links down in the description below. And that's about it for the intro. I like to keep them really short. So let's get straight into you guys' comments. The first one is from Jen Spencer. I can't wait. But one thing that I'm really concerned about is that it takes a lot of time to make movies, of course. So numerous adaptations of the books will have aged up the characters a lot, and I really hope that doesn't happen to KotLC. Also, I've seen a lot of opinions like, they can't mess up blank. And I think as long as they get the appearance of the characters somewhat right, and their personalities are the same, I would be happy. I still wish it was animated though. Also, I think they would have to get a lot of professional special effects because like all the abilities. And I agree with pretty much everything that Jen Spencer has to say. My biggest concern, which is, there's two, is that this movie is going to take quite a long time. It was just announced like pretty much like a month ago, I think. I've said before, like it might take 2 years, hopefully it doesn't take 3 years. But I also don't want them to rush the movie. So I'm thinking somewhere like 1.5 to 2 years would be a pretty good spot that gives us a lot of build up but also doesn't have them rush all the movie and the casting and all that stuff. So yeah, I definitely agree with what Jen Spencer has to say. Let's get into the next one. Actually, before we get into the next one, I want to say my opinion on the movie. I am extremely excited about this movie. And this is different from a lot of people, but I don't really care if it's horrible, you know? Well, obviously, I would prefer it to be really, really good, but I just care that there's going to be a movie. I just think it's so crazy that this book series that I started reading like 3 years ago has evolved into this. And even if the movie is bad, it still brings a lot of new fans into the fandom, a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new people to talk to on the Discord and etc. So my thought process is like, I just want there to be a movie. I would like it to be decent. If it was great, then that's amazing. But if it's bad, it's still a really cool experience to, you know, like see on the big screen and all that stuff. The next comment is from Mediocre and they say, I'm excited, but I'm also kind of nervous. Honestly though, it's getting kind of annoying with people saying the hair has to be perfect. Dex has to have dimples and all. I understand wanting the characters to look similar to the books, but overall appearance isn't an important part of anyone's character. And if they went by the books, there'd be little to no diversity. I think this is also, I agree with this completely. A lot of people are saying like, if they get this little detail wrong, I'm gonna be so mad. But I would be kind of a little angry if they leave out a character, like a side one, like Gency. I would understand if they had to leave him out, but that's what I would kind of be a little bit annoyed at. But when people are saying like, Dex has to have dimples, like, okay, that is what his character looks like, but does it really matter as much as his personality? So I definitely have to agree with what Mediocre says. Let's get into the next comment. The next comment is from Megan Barnett. They say, I am tentatively excited for the movie. I'm happy that Shannon has talked to Ben Affleck and likes his approach to it, and it'll be really fun to get to see the progression. I'm concerned about casting, then changing around the story, but as long as it's at least entertaining, I'll be okay with it. We'll always have the books to go back to if it's terrible. I agree with what they have to say. I definitely think the movies always usually change something up about the books. I think I read, like, for example, I read the Harry Potter books before the movies, and then I watched the movies, and they're all most of them are a little bit different from the books, but I still love them all the same because some of the changes that they make maybe were better or more entertaining or just a lot cooler to see like in a movie. So there's definitely going to be some changes. I'm pretty sure about that. So I just hope the changes are better or equal to what we have in the books. The next comment is from Striker K. I think that Ben Affleck will do a great job. Shannon has said that Ben really gets it and she wouldn't give permission to do the movie without somebody, really getting the script and getting the books. I'm really curious how they will cast the crew. Will the main characters be in their 20s, or are they going to stick with the actual ages? There's more left to the comment, but I just want to say something about like the casting. I hope that they will be like child actors, like pretty much around the same age. Like maybe Sophie's like 12 in the first book, so maybe if the actor is like 13 or 14, so they have a bit more experience, but they also fit the age a little bit. I'm curious to see if they will merge some of the first books together to make the first movie, or if they're planning to make this movie solely on the first book. And what I'm hoping for this is that they don't squash together like 3 books into one movie, because I think that won't really go well. You kind of saw that with like the Lemony Snicket movie like a long time ago. It didn't really work, so I hope they do 1 book for each movie and eventually keep going, maybe kind of like Harry Potter, how they did that. And number 4, I hope that this movie is better than Percy Jackson. I hope it's more in Harry Potter, if not Star Wars level. But I'm afraid because it's going to be a Disney movie, I also hope it's not a Disney Plus exclusive. So yeah, definitely what I was saying, that if it is a Percy Jackson type movie, I would be disappointed, but not that sad, to be honest. But if it was Harry Potter or Star Wars level, that would be great, because people can say good things about the movie and they could like the books and the movies the same, like Harry Potter. And about the Disney Plus, it would kind of be pretty bad if it was Disney Plus exclusive. I hope once it releases in a couple years, the movie theaters will be reopened, so we can see them in a movie theater like that. And yeah, I really liked all their opinions, and fun times, yes. Thank you, Strike Hard, and let's get on to the next comment from Airy End. I am very excited for the KotLC movie, but I don't think it will realistically work without serious changes to the book. This is true. KotLC is a very long series, and unlike Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, each book doesn't take place in a different year. Throughout the 8.5 books, the characters have only aged 2 years. Movie adaptations tend to take a year for each one to release, so the actors will age rapidly, but the characters in the book will not. And the characters are young, but they aren't older teens where we can just pretend that these 20-year-olds are teens. I think that the people making the movie will have to make some serious changes to the story, not to mention how long these books are, so some might have to cut out into 2 parts, kind of like the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, I think. I just hope the series doesn't end up as bad as the Percy Jackson movies. So yeah, this makes a good point about how long it will take to release and like how that corresponds to the book. And what they say is very true. That is a pretty big concern, to be honest, because they've only aged 2 years between book 1 and book 8.5, which compared to like Harry Potter goes from like this little tiny person to like a full-fledged adult in the last book. So it is a pretty good concern, actually. Because like if they do end up making 8 movies and it takes at least a year to make every movie, the character's gonna age, or the actors are gonna age 8 years from book 1 or movie 1 to movie 8.5, in contrast to only 2 years for the characters. So that is definitely a pretty big concern. I wasn't thinking about that. Thank you, Shrieker. I said that wrong, so thanks for correcting me. The next comment is a very long one, so we'll try to skim through it a little bit. From Leah B. Hey, I've been thinking a lot about the KotLC movie since the news has released. There's a lot that comes with turning a book into a movie. First of all, appearance are a big concern of mine. For me, it's about my mental image, which is really messed up. And I imagine the characters so weird and say their names so wrong, I know the movie is going to be very different from what's in my brain. And this is true because since the book doesn't come with many illustrations, obviously you can just look up pictures of official art of the characters online. Some people have pictures in their head that is nowhere near how Shannon describes them in the official art, and it might be a little bit of a cold. What I'm trying to say, for example, we haven't had any official art of Sandor, and I had an image in my head of what he looked like, and then when we saw the official art of Sandor, I was like, what the heck? It looks like an armadillo. So that's probably gonna happen for a lot of people, and for some people that would be like a refresher, but some people might think differently about it. I'm not sure. To continue, so let's go by the actual book standards. I don't mind if appearances are a little different, but they can't be so off that it messes up how fans think of or even feel about the books. Second, I'm nervous when it comes to how fans are dream casting famous people like Dove Cameron as Sophie. We need people that aren't well known because they're hidden talent everywhere. Not to mention the fact that Sophie is 12 and Dove Cameron is not. So before we continue anymore, this is a very good point. that I kind of touched on, but I don't really want famous actors to be playing people. Like, I wouldn't be that mad if like a famous actor played like Alden or Grady, you know, because they're old, they're adults, that's fine. But I don't want like a 17-year-old famous actor to play Sophie. I'd rather it be kind of like how the Harry Potter movies were. Nobody really knew the child actors who played like the trio, and then they grew up and became pretty big actors. So I think that's what I'm looking for, at least. I also don't want the abilities to be portrayed in a cheesy way. If you know what I mean, the thoughts are this movie could turn out extremely well or it could go up in flames. It's difficult to be ecstatic when there are so many factors to a movie, and I trust Shannon has chosen Ben Affleck for a reason, and I can't wait to see how the movie turns out. So there are so many factors that go into making a movie, like they said, that means there are so many chances for people to get things wrong. So I hope I didn't scare anybody, but I really hope this goes the right way. Thank you, Leah B. Let's get into the next comment. Also, this is a funny comment, but they say that Ben Affleck can't get this wrong because his daughter reads the series, and I'm pretty sure this is referring to, I forgot who said it, I'm not sure if it's even true, but I think it is that Ben Affleck's daughter read the series or something, and she wanted him to make a movie out of it. So I think that's really cool, because at least somebody in the family can help Ben Affleck get everything right, because that would be pretty cool, honestly. So that's going to be it for the comments, but I do have some final thoughts to say. Some people are also worried about the CGI of the movies and like how they portray abilities or how they would portray some other stuff in the series. And I'm just gonna say I'm not really too worried about the CGI because it is Disney, and I think Disney can do a pretty good job with the CGI and all the special effects. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm also really excited to see where they film, like where they're gonna put Havenfield, where they're gonna put Everglen, all that stuff, and how it's gonna look in a movie, how it's gonna look to be inside Havenfield. Like, just the little things is really making me excited about this movie. Another thing is like the merchandise. Like, obviously it's gonna be a Disney movie, so there's gonna be some extremely cool merchandise from the movie that we can purchase and wear. So yeah, I'm just extremely excited for pretty much every aspect of the movie, seeing it on the big screen, the merchandise, what characters look like in a movie, just everything about that really excites me, and I just cannot wait until this releases. If you're excited as I am, make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are well on our way to trying to get to our next milestone, which is probably 7.5 thousand subscribers. I love seeing your guys' comments and see how you feel about the movie. So if you want to add on to any of your points or just have something to say about the movie, leave a comment down below and I'll be replying to all of them. That's gonna wrap up this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.